I say we're ready to go.
I say let's drop kick this bitch.
All right, man, we will. I had to adjust. Are we happy with levels?
I love it.
Okay. So, dude, I've been trying to get you on the show for how long?
Years. I'm kidding. Since the beginning.
Because you're like the hardest guy to track down because you're the busiest actor in LA right now.
Please. I wish I was, but yes, I bamboozle myself into these things that always take up my time, which are great, but I wish I was getting paid a shit ton of money, which I'm not.
Not quite yet?
Not yet, but she'll get there.
She'll get there. Doesn't it work out that don't you get royalties though? Or are you literally getting
You get residuals like after stuff is shot. And then, months later.
In the meantime, you get to be the struggling artist.
Oh, absolutely. Welcome.
Which, by the way, is the new unofficial... Oh, there's the dog.
Hey, dog.
Hey, you're too loud, buddy. Go on, get it. Go on, get it. So, yeah, I'm going to silence this.
You're so popular.
Why don't we... We'll get into actual, like, professional studio mode here. Kick the dog out, turn the phones off, then we'll be good, right? Off. What was I saying?
Shows. Residuals.
Oh, okay. Residuals. So in the meantime, you get to be a struggling artist.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny, my co-host Nikki, who usually fills in when I don't have guests, or sometimes we do three of us. So it's like threesome action. It's pretty good shit.
Cool. Sign me up.
That's why we have the bed right here.
Thank you, bed.
And we talked about it, and she's like, Future E.D.O is the official name of this podcast. Oh, it's kind of cool. It's got a nice ring to it.
I love it.
And we jokingly play around with it that we attributed meeting afterwards, after the fact. Mm-hmm. Like, we didn't know what the fuck it meant. We're just like, it just sounds fucking awesome. But it's like the future of entertainment, dialogue, and O for other shit.
Oh, I love basically. O for other shit.
But the AKA is the struggling artist. Because as we've been sort of doing this podcast and interviewing people like Colin, who you know.
Nice.
Adir.
Of course.
And like everyone, Nikki herself, myself, all of us are artists.
Absolutely.
And everything that we've been talking about has been gravitating around sort of like the life of an artist in this crazy fucking town called the City of Angels.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
City of shit shows. That's what it is.
And we're kind of in an interesting part of town, West Hollywood, where you have this interesting mix of gay culture, the artists, Hollywood, all that shit just kind of converging in one spot.
Yeah.
I call it ground zero.
Absolutely. It's the bubble. I call it the big gay bubble.
The big gay bubble.
The big gay bubble.
Technically, it's considered one of the gayest communities in America, is
Probably.
Is it not?
Yeah, I think so.
The Castro, maybe Chelsea in New York.
Chelsea for sure. I mean, which is now Hell's Kitchen. They've changed it.
What does that even mean, Hell's Kitchen?
It's just, part of town. I mean, Midtown, basically.
Yeah?
Yeah, I forgot what it's actually, I think.
Like where that name came from?
I'm not sure, but if we Google it, we can find out.
We can always Google, can't we?
Find it. We can always find out.
I keep forgetting
the real meanings.
I keep forgetting that we live in the future, and that we could just pull up this little device.
Yeah,
that was featured on Star Trek like many moons ago.
Yep.
And we have them now.
Yeah, it's weird.
And literally, you could just talk into it and be like, Siri, do this, that, and the other.
Should we do it?
Do you have Siri on your phone?
Siri, where does the name Hell's Kitchen come from?
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. She's checking.
Oh.
Here's what I found on the web for where does the name Hell's Kitchen come from.
See?
The bitch talks.
She does talk. Hell's Kitchen. The name Hell's Kitchen generally refers to the area from 34th to 58th Street. It got its name from a gang.
From a gang.
That's what it says.
Interesting.
Let's see what else it says. I mean, I'm sure everybody really wants to know what happened in Hell's Kitchen. It was an Irish and German community. Your people, sort of, right? No?
My people? You're the one that looks more Irish than I do.
I know, which is so funny. Not even close.
Spanish, Italian.
I know, Italians.
Hey.
Yeah. I don't know. Righteous Days of New York City with gangs.
You know what it is that I love the name. The fact that it's a city, or I should say a neighborhood, that actually has the word hell in it. That's kind of cool.
Absolutely. Yeah, I lived there for 5 years in Hell's Kitchen.
Oh, you did?
52nd and 9th.
That's right. Yeah. I lived up on 81st in York, Upper East.
Love that.
Yeah. kind of an older Jewish area, but like still like close to shit, you know?
I love that area.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a bitch to get to.
Yeah, that walk. You got to walk like 3 avenues.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Shit, you got me talking about New York and I'm on walk. You got to walk.
You gotta walk.
You know,
hey, you gotta walk all the way across the goddamn town.
Crosstown bus though, hey.
Hey, you. Where you coming from? I'm coming from the west side.
So I really want to get into like some of the stuff that you've been doing though.
Cool.
I know that you were like a vampire on a show.
Yes.
I want to hear all about that.
I will tell you that one. So, yeah, it started when I was born in New Jersey. No, kidding.
Oh yeah, let's go way back.
Let's
man.
go way back.
Yeah.
No, please. I grew up in New Jersey. Always wanted to be an actor.
Dude.
Blah, blah, blah.
Jers?
Dirty
You too?
Jers.
Damn, call in too, man.
We're all Jersey, which is ridiculous. I'm from North Jersey, so I'm not trashy like Snooki. But, I mean, I have some trash.
Oh, is North Jersey the less trashy part?
Absolutely. That's
And
where
then
Colin and I are from.
Okay, but Colin kind of has more of like the Joyzy. I don't know if that's
Shore.
a little bit of that. I hear a little bit of that East Coast, but in you, I hear zero East Coast.
Oh, that's great.
You lost it.
I lost it.
All that
Yes, all
speech
that acting,
coaching.
Yes, all of my online coaches. Not even.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I lost it, but I mean, I can put it on for sure when I'm drunk.
Oh, yeah.
Which was yesterday, 5 hours ago.
Oh, okay, good.
Thank you. Happy 4th, everybody.
Happy 4th.
This is the July 5th special. I am hungover as fuck.
And you're here doing a podcast.
For
You
Johnny.
stuck to the schedule.
Absolutely. Johnny and Connie take LA.
I appreciate it. And you know, man, seriously, you're one of the most favorite people out here.
Oh, thank you.
Awesome.
I love you so much.
Love
too.
you back, boo.
So yes, getting back to me, Johnny. So
Yeah, back to me.
Back to me. It's always about me. Yeah. So I grew up in Jersey. Went to an all boys Catholic high school, which was absolutely terrible. Kill yourself. And yeah, I started auditioning in high school, and then right out of high school, I booked the Hairspray national tour, the Broadway show.
Oh, cool.
So that's where it all began.
So you began on Broadway.
17. Yes. I went on the national tour first for 2 years. And then, remember, what's his face from O-Town, Ashley Parker Angel? Remember that blonde one?
O-Town.
Remember that
You mean the
boy band
the
group?
boy band?
Yeah.
Oh man, they were kind of one of the more obscure. I mean,
they were the loser versions.
they weren't like NSYNC
or Backstreet Boys. They were like
Yeah.
the dumb version. But they had a following. So
Okay.
he was doing the role that I was doing on tour, the one that Zac Efron did in the movie of Link Larkin, and I went in to replace him because he like had pulled something in his back for like 3 weeks. So that was my first time on Broadway. It's replacing Mr. Ashley Parker Angel.
No shit.
Which then he finished his contract and they hired me full time. And then I
Wow.
closed the show with Harvey Fierstein.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So at what point were you like, okay, I'm gonna give up obviously success on Broadway.
Yeah, for many years. I was in New York for 8 years doing shows.
8 years.
Yeah.
And so were you bartending? Were you serving?
You know what?
At
Some point in the beginning, actually in the interim between Hairspray and when I did Legally Blonde, I had like a year of like doing some like stupid regional theater stuff. I shouldn't say stupid. It was great stuff. But yeah, I did. I bartended a little bit, but nothing like I am now. I was very fortunate enough to keep working in New York, like jumping to show. I maybe had like 2 months of bartending, and then I got Legally Blonde.
So Legally Blonde, the musical.
The musical.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, I did that on the tour and Broadway for a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I mean, coming from that kind of success to be able to actually like do what you love,
It was total dream come true.
make money from what you love.
Yes, I missed that. Where is that money?
And then you're like, I'm going to leave awesome New York. I'm going to leave this awesome lifestyle.
To come to bright, sunny Los Angeles.
You came for the weather. Mm-hmm. I love when people say that. Oh, the weather. But the weather.
Oh, fuck you with the weather. Absolutely not. No, I came here because I want to do more TV and film shit.
Right. So that's more the...
That's my other... Listen, it was... theater is my number one passion, of course. It was a dream come true. I was so fortunate enough to be working so many years on Broadway and at that level. But there comes a time, and I had a big director. His name is Jack O'Brien. He's a huge Tony Award winning director. Mm-hmm. And he like told me when I was in my early 20s, like 22, he had said, if you come to a point where you start hating what you love, it's time for you to take a step back and, just appreciate what you have had instead of getting so dark and deep into it. And then you end up,
possibly losing the passion.
Losing the passion and becoming jaded. And when I saw a lot of people in shows that I was doing for years, because I did a bunch of big blockbuster musicals. So I did like Legally Blonde, Wicked, Hairspray, Ghost. So those shows had been, ran for a while. I mean, Wicked is one of the biggest shows on Broadway.
Fucking A. Isn't it still?
It's still.
Yeah.
It's running it's in its 11th year. So,
wow.
and I'm actually going back on Friday to go back into the show for a month.
That's why you're going. Okay.
Yes.
Very cool.
So that's why I'm going to New York. But I had seen people in the show who had been with the show for 5-6 years deep into the show. Mm-hmm. And let me tell you, some people are great at it. I am not that person who can stay in a long-running show for more than maybe 2 years. And then I'm done. Because then I get, creatively, I'm not fulfilled anymore. I'm doing it 8 shows a week. I'm exhausted. Mm-hmm. And I want to move on to something different. So his words of wisdom, Jack O'Brien, I love you. And I thank you so much for that. Because I pulled myself back before I could start hating what I love. And that's was so scary and crazy. And change was just pulled the plug. I was like, I got to move to LA right now.
I think on multiple levels, what you did was an awesome thing because I feel like when you do big, bold moves like that, when you make big, bold moves,
transitions,
it's never a bad thing.
No, it's not. It's scary as fuck.
Maybe in the beginning, right?
Oh, yeah.
Scary. There's a metamorphosis that always you go through. I mean, fuck, bro. On my way back here, I lived in New York as well, as we said, a couple years out there. Lived in LA prior to that for 7-8 years. Yeah. Doing music, DJing full time. So that was an awesome time. But like you, I started losing the passion. Mm-hmm. And so I had to get the fuck out of Dodge. That's when I went to Spain and New York and Miami and all that shit and all that crazy moving around. And I was like, you know what? I think I'm ready to come back. Mm-hmm. And when I came back, bro, I went through a serious depression. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Same here. I'm still it's been 3 years here and I still feel, I'm finally feel grounded and settled. But it's shocking to the body and to the mind. But it's also really good you work on yourself and you sometimes need to take a step back to realize what you have. Absolutely. And how precious and amazing it is. And we only live on this earth once. Or maybe whatever you believe in. Well, we only remember once. Thank you, remember once. So I feel it's then also that's you growing up. That's you getting older and becoming an adult. Yeah, and it's been I wouldn't take it back. Even all the pain, quote unquote, that I went through to do that. I'm sure yourself. I wouldn't take it back. And if anything, coming out here made me appreciate my life on the East Coast. Absolutely. More. Because whenever I go back to New York, I'm like, wow, I had I had a great life here. And one day it's in my plan that I do want to go back. Absolutely. But there's so much work to be done here right now. I'm doing this with all you guys. I mean, where else can I have such access? Totally. To people like ourselves. That there's so many talented people here. It's just like I have this queue of people that I got to get on the show. I love it. And you're on the top of that queue, by the way. Oh, yes. What, for 2-3 months I've been trying to get your ass in here. Finally got Connie. And you know what? I have no doubt in my mind that sooner than later you're going to become a fucking big deal. Oh, thanks, buddy. You already are, but I mean that the world will acknowledge that. That's so sweet. And I feel the same with you, my friend. Thank you, my friend. Your music, you guys, you got to listen to Johnny's stuff. It's so good. Oh, I play one of the tunes in the beginning. Amazing. It's sort of the how there's music in of course, like an shows, intro. An intro. Yeah, so I have an intro. I got an outro. Hey, you got to go pee. No big deal. Let me go put some music on. I put the music on. I love it. Yeah. So, by the way, if you you need to use any of the facilities. Yes. Just raise my hand. Just raise your hand. Okay. And say present. And we're cool with that. Amazing. Very informal. I love it. So yeah, man, it's so refreshing to hear other people that share a similar journey or a similar story. So it's like, oh, it's not just me. No. I'm not fucking crazy. No, we're all going through it. You know what I'm saying? The struggle is real, y'all. Yeah. Let me tell you, this bitch is so real.
She slaps me in the face when I wake up every goddamn morning. But it's great because, it makes you realize what you really want. And if you're going to pursue it and actually be goal driven, then it'll work. Because I feel like LA's really made me fully have those goggles of, nope, this is what I want to do. And then I'm going to do it. And I know I'm going to get there somehow, but all this bullshit that it's throwing my way, it's because it's humbling me and it's grounding me and it's making me appreciate everything that I'm, have had, will have, hopefully, in the future as well.
Yeah, and I think that LA is a very easy city to lose sight.
Absolutely, and get lost in.
Yeah, very much so.
Well, because it's sunny every 5 minutes, and it's like, what is it, January or June?
Yeah, and there's I feel like there's very little urgency here.
No, everybody sits. That was my problem when I first moved here from New York. I'm sure you probably had the same thing.
Yeah.
I was so hands-on always. I still am. But these people trying to get a meeting.
Jesus Christ.
And just emails back and forth. Yeah, we'll talk to you in 2 weeks. Like, then 4 months would go by. I was like, get it together. Yeah. Can't you just fucking have a meeting with me? You're the one who emailed me first. So, like, come on, let's get it together.
Yeah, exactly. This is the kind of town where people will literally initiate with you.
Oh, and ask you everything and get your number. I'm like, why go through all the fucking mess if you're not going to talk to me when I'm going to respond to you? But for like 40 minutes at a bar, you're going to give me all your shit in the spiel and it's the network and here's my card and man, I have a baby dick and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, it's.
I can't.
And tracking down people here, it's an art in itself. Mm-hmm. It really is. And I'm dealing with tracking down certain people eventually it'll give.
Oh, it always does.
But it's the
persistence.
It's the persistence, yeah. And in New York, it's a little bit more.
It's more real and it's more higher paced. Yeah. It's like, okay, we like you, but let me be straightforward. You're not. We have nothing for 4 months, but we'll get back to you soon. And they actually do. Here, it's like, oh, we love you. Let's set up this meeting.
Oh, and you're a Scorpio?
Oh, I love Scorpio. Are you a Verlibran? That's a Virgo and a Libra.
Oh, dear God.
A Verlibran.
Are they getting that far now?
Oh, people are getting that far.
Astrology is huge out here, man.
Oh, my God. Yes, it is.
Everyone I talk to, actually, Nate, I'm going to interview
later.
Probably next.
Amazing.
He's huge into astrology.
Is.
And he's funny because here's another East Coast kid. Nate? I don't think he's a Scorpio.
Oh, no, he's not. He's something.
He's something.
He has like tattoos of it at the bar.
Yeah, I forget what he is, but he might be a Taurus.
Sure.
And I'm sure all our East Coast friends here listening to this, like, who gives a fuck? But the thing is, that if you knew Nate, and he's an old Philly kid.
Oh, I know.
He grew up in Philly, and he's like, hey, I can't do the Philly accent, but.
Yeah, me either.
But you see how LA has made him an LA kid now. He's a Cali boy.
So California.
Because one of the first things that comes out of I love Nate to death. He's one of my favorite people.
Yeah.
And I'm the same way. And I'm kind of poking fun at all of us with this. But one of the first things out of Nate's mouth to a girl will be, oh, so what's your sign? And then he'll know everything. No, he'll say, what's your birthday?
Oh, God.
And he'll be like, oh, so you're a Virgo with a XYZ moon.
Oh, God.
And the Pisces stars. And I don't know.
Rising. Yeah.
Yeah, he knows. And I'm like, whoa. And the girls are like, tell me more. And they have, with the fucking hands like this. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it also helps that, Nate's very good looking.
Yeah. You're very good looking.
I mean, Johnny,
what the fuck,
stop
Connie?
it. It's like looking in the mirror. Look, Johnny and Connie. Hey, come on.
So, Connie, what the... No, it's okay.
The mic just punched me in the face.
Oh, it's all right. If it's easier for you, you can rotate the headphone because your cable is kind of crossing. I don't know if it's pulling too much on you.
No, it's totally fine.
Oh, okay. But what the fuck do you do? What do you eat?
Oh,
tell me. What do you? Because you look
starving.
You look like a Greek god.
Well,
and you are Greek, right?
I am. I'm 100% Greek.
We got to hear the full name, dude.
Okay, you ready for it? I mean, I don't know if you guys are ready for this. It is Constantinos Chrysostomus Rousouli. That's it in Greek.
Wow, that is a mouthful.
I am either a character in Cats the musical, Mr. Mistopheles, or I should be in The Lion King.
Do you remember back in New York, the comedian, he was kind of a cult following out there. He was the guy, I don't remember his fucking name, but he had a couple characters. Okay. And one was Maurica, the
oh my God,
pre-op transvestite.
Yes, and he goes, that's it, coming to us. That's it. Like,
I can't believe you know that, because nobody out here, and he's Greek. And then he has Mr. Panos, which is like the racist.
Yeah, and he goes, hi, how are you? I want you to make cookies for me. He's Greek. Yeah.
I love it.
He's hilarious. I'm a transvestite from the Lower East Side. That one, right?
I'm a pre-op transvestite.
That's it. You like plantanos? That's it.
Yeah, and he's a vegan.
Yeah,
because he wants a clean ass pussy, as he calls it. that was
that ass pussy. Oh my God, it's so funny. You guys should definitely look that up. It's called Mauricia Rodriguez.
Yeah,
or the Love Date. It's called Love Date or something like that.
That was literally Love Date.
It's good stuff.
And that was literally the.
That's so funny that you know that.
Yeah. Well, anyone that lived in New York, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. I'm trying to find me a rich bitch to pay for my student loans.
It was so good. Yeah, anyone looking that up, it was called Love Match.
Yeah, Love Match.
And he did a skit where like the documentarians, I don't know where to go, the camera crews following her or him around, and the scene on the basketball court.
Oh my God, when he's schooling everybody in basketball, it's so funny.
Yeah, I love it, man. Anyway, so the whole Greek thing.
Yes, I am fully Greek.
You're a Greek god.
Yes, thank you, Greek god. But yes, no, I work out. I work out and I eat really clean.
And what to
sweet
you?
Sweet potatoes. Come on, sweet potatoes.
Dude, you know me on sweet potatoes,
we are
bro.
You guys, you want to get snatched in like a week, just fucking eat sweet potatoes.
Sweet potatoes.
I shit you not. It's a superfood.
Fucking superfood.
And it basically soaks up all of your water, so you are snatched. I mean, go figure.
Wait, is that what it is? Because I've been trying to do some research on what is it about.
It dehydrates you. It soaks up all of your water.
In a good way, though.
In a great way. I mean, you shouldn't be just eating sweet potatoes. Like, here's this. So I had a celebrity trainer friend of mine who used to train Mariah Carey. His name's Bernardo Coppola, one of my dearest friends. And we met in New York. And I was doing this thing on Broadway called Broadway Bears, Equity Fights AIDS. And it was like a big burlesque show that the whole Broadway community puts on at Roseland Ballroom every year. And we raise money for breast cancer awareness, the Phyllis Newman Center, and Broadway Cares Equity Fights AIDS.
Okay.
So all the money and the proceeds go to all of them. So the big performance is probably in June every year, and it's themed. And it's big choreographers, big directors, a bunch of celebrities like Nathan Lane would host, and just everybody. There's everybody would come. Judith Light was performing one year. You just have a bunch of, Laverne Cox did it yet last year. And basically everybody like gets super snatched and ripped for the performance because we're all naked. Like the whole thing is a burlesque show.
Gotcha. So everyone's got to have at least an 8-pack.
You literally, or else you're just going to look fat. And no one wants to look fat on stage in front of like 1,200 people.
Right.
Or more. Probably more people.
Yeah,
probably 3,000, 5,000.
To them, you're probably still ripped, but we all know how it is. To you, your own standards. You're always bettering.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, Bernardo taught me about this sweet potato shenanigans because I would, eat brown rice and some chicken. And he was like, you know what? You can do some rice, but you should switch to sweet potatoes as your carb.
So he actually, that's interesting because I kind of, I've been preaching that shit ever since I got back to LA because, as you know, I'm a huge paleo guy.
Love it. Yeah.
Total paleo. And sweet potatoes and yams.
Well, that's why you look so good, boo.
Thank you, boo.
You're welcome.
Sweet potatoes and yams are probably the most superior form of complex carbohydrate I've ever had. Now, I know every body is different. You're Asian, maybe you can tolerate rice a whole fuckload better than if you're Greek, right? But what I found was I went low carb for like a good 1 or 2 years.
Okay.
On and off for about 2 years. And I realized I was kind of hitting a wall and I wasn't as ripped as I knew I was capable of being.
Yeah.
and it occurred to me that maybe I was going too low carb for too long.
Maybe.
So I said, all right, starvation mode, whatnot. So I was like, okay, well, being a paleo guy, if I'm going to eat carbs, it's going to be sweet potatoes.
Yeah.
Right? Or yams.
Totally.
White potatoes are technically not...
They're more starchy.
They're more and they're technically not even in the same family. People don't know that. Even though potatoes in the word, they're one is a tuber and the other is a nightshade.
Oh, work. Didn't even know what that means.
Yeah,
sure.
whatever the fuck. Yeah, but the point being is they're not even the same thing. So I was like, all right, I'll eat sweet potatoes again. And when I started doing that, first of all, immediately I started ripping up, and I felt more full after meals. I felt more satiated.
Oh yeah, and you only can have the best thing about the sweet potato is that when you eat it, you're like, oh, you don't even have to have a full potato. You're like, oh, I'm done. I'm full. Your body already knows how to shut it off.
It's crazy.
If I have brown rice, I just want to eat a whole fucking tub.
Yeah. Like
and
you just
I'm
can't.
Still not full.
Or for me, bread is like it's like a drug. It's like cocaine. So you have one sniff.
That's so weird. I don't even know what you're talking about.
And it's kind of never enough, right? So like it kind of begets more.
Yeah.
Wanting it, and not only yes, there will be a point where you can't have. You're like, I'm fucking full. I can't eat more bread.
Totally.
But while you're eating it, you want a lot of bread. And then the next day, or I should say, the more common it is for you in your daily regimen to eat bread, the more you'll want to eat bread.
Of course.
Versus when I eat sweet potatoes, like I can only almost eat like half a sweet potato, and I just I can't fucking eat any more of this.
No, yeah, because it just makes you, it kind of automatically clicks off and turns.
Yeah.
It's like I'm good.
And I feel so full. And I think a lot what that has to do, probably has to do with the dehydration aspect that you mentioned.
It's true. It literally dehydrates you. I mean, yeah, he basically said when I was basically cutting before the performance, it was like a week before, it was like chicken, broccoli and sweet potato, for 6 meals. And then 2 days out, he was like, all right, just basically sweet potatoes every meal.
Right.
So 1 sweet potato every 3 hours. And I was like,
wow.
Get the fuck out of here.
And it's so counterintuitive because everyone, it's like carbs are like the big evil thing.
Like, I can't do it. Meanwhile, I never looked better in my entire life.
Absolutely, bro.
Never looked better.
100% true for me as well. And when about 1 month into it, it was very apparent. And people at our job were commenting all these fucking, model-esque,
women,
whatever. Yeah, everybody was like, what the fuck are you doing? And I'm like, I'm just eating sweet potatoes. And they're like,
people don't believe it. And they're like, oh, you're on a cycle. You're doing something. You're on steroids. I'm like, get out of here.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like I eat like shit anyways, but for me and so I kind of fell out of that and I want to get back to it.
Just brings you up to the next level. It really just fine tunes everything, which is so crazy.
And it fueled my workouts because.
Oh yeah. Because it's a superfood.
It's a superfood. And all these low carbers, I get it because like I said, I low carb also. And I do believe in low carbing, but intermittently now, not consistently.
Yeah.
Because you will suffer in the gym if you're trying to gain.
Oh, absolutely.
Because burning fat, although will give you energy and being in ketosis and all this shit where like, oh, I'm a fat burning machine and you drink your fucking bulletproof coffee in the morning and you're fasting and you go to the gym. I get that. But at the end of the day, if you want to look like you gotta you gotta fuel that shit with because you have size and you're lean.
Thank you. That's what I want. That's what I need. But you have the same weight. Like you and I are built kind of similar.
Yeah, you're like my Greek bro.
I mean, yeah. I mean, we're twins, so
the Italians and the Greeks,
I mean, same shit.
Yeah,
absolutely.
We're just across the Mediterranean. Yeah, not too far.
I'll swim over later.
Yeah, there you go.
See you on my boat.
Dude, I've yet to go to Greece.
Oh my God, you have to go.
You have family out there, right?
Yeah, I have who is belting outside.
Yeah.
Ma'am, calm down.
I might have to shut that window, man. See, to the audience, the reason why we might have a little more background noise here is because it is fucking 90 degrees right now in LA.
It is.
And it's a beautiful hot summer day. I'm not complaining.
It's gorgeous.
But we have to open up the studio window here.
Yeah, I am hot as balls, but I've never looked better, so.
That's right. Hey, so back to the thing. I wanted to kind of hear what were some of the last major roles that you were doing or doing right now, because I know the first one that you had mentioned to me was the you were a vampire.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so that was the biggest one that just. And
you were the lead, right?
Yeah, I was. It was a crazy story. I went in So we shot it like 7 or 8 months ago. And I've been out here. It's been over 3 years that I've been out here, and some people were like, it's gonna take you like 3 years to like book something like substantial. And I was like,
that was kind of the
that was what people had been saying, and I was like, okay, whatever. Everybody's different. Let me tell you, they were right. 3 years in,
3 years.
3 years. I ran, starting from the ground up. Everybody appreciates theater and they love that stuff, but when it comes down to LA, everyone's like, "Where's your tape? I want to see what you've done."
Yeah.
And if you don't have a reel, you're fucked. So, I go to this audition for a 5-liner.
Okay.
And I'm sitting there and I'm like reading these lines, and I wasn't even going to go to this audition. I was not having it. I was like, 5 lines for like this series. Get out of here. So I go in and I do these lines, and I had to sing a song because it's also like a musical. I mean, there's music involved in the show.
You sing.
Yes.
Of course. You're Broadway. Of course you sing.
Yes.
You're a thespian.
I'm a lesbian. And so I sang my song, and then I read these 5 lines, and the casting and the producer looked at me, and they go, actually, can you take these 18 pages of sides and go outside and read for one of the lead characters? And I said, sure, but you want me to like cold read this? And they were like, yeah. Meanwhile, pissed again. I was like, fuck. I now have to go outside for 20 minutes to learn these sides that I'm clearly not going to get because this is, I have no time. It's a cold read. There's like 18 people in the room. I go in, and then, it happens. Sometimes you just, when you don't give a shit, that's the irony,
isn't it? That's the
irony of when stuff happens.
You get the fucking role when you're like,
when you're calm, and you're just like, whatever.
I'm
like,
fucked
what
anyway.
I'm going to be fucked anyway. I have nothing to lose. Cut to the next day, they were like, we love you. We want you to come and test for the network tomorrow. And I was like, get out of here. So yeah, I did it. And then we shot the series. They dyed my hair blonde, which was disgusting. I looked gross.
Can you plug all the info, the show, where to find it, the name,
the show's called How to Be a Vampire. It's on the CW Seed, so it's their new streaming platform. You know how everything's like on Apple TV now, Netflix, Hulu, it's going to be like that, so you can find it on Apple TV. Also, it comes out, I think, July 25th.
Oh, so it has not aired yet.
It hasn't aired yet.
Oh.
It comes out. I haven't seen anything. I just went and did some ADR in the studio.
So then I really am catching you at a good time because...
Yeah, the shit's about to drop, son.
Once shit drops, you're going to be really hard to get a hold of.
Yeah, right. I'm going to be so famous.
I'm going to have to talk to your assistant to get a hold of you, buddy.
Yeah, my assistant, my non-existent assistant. Basically, you can just text me.
Yeah, Connie. One more interview.
I'm coming over. Bye. So it comes out July 25th. I think that's what they said. But
so what's going through your head right now, bro? Because this is a big deal, right? So it's a major network, streaming network. Which, by the way, I believe is
the new thing.
100% the future.
It is, and that's why everybody's doing it.
And Jesse, him and I were talking, and he was like, I don't remember what it was about, but CBS apparently is refusing to get into streaming.
Why?
And because they're so old, dude. They've always been sort of behind the times.
Well, yeah, I mean, they still have what's it called? Soap operas.
Yeah, they're perpetually in the 70s. Yeah. They'll never get out of the 70s. And that's what. And so I think it was a friend of his that said, "Okay, I'm getting out of CBS," and now I think she does production for YouTube because YouTube is, as we know, it's unbelievably, and they have these YouTube studios now. So when you have 100,000 subscribers, when you hit this magic number, now you have free access, from what I've been told, to the YouTube studios. You just have to book it. Yeah,
and you can just go in and do your shit.
And so this is, to me, this is the future, is that we are all, and kind of, a play on the title and why I like the word future in the title of this podcast, Future E.D.O, because in all seriousness, this is the future of entertainment.
Yeah.
That's the F and that's the E right there. It really is, because people now are really getting onto, I want to provide my own content. And if social media isn't a fucking indication of that, where everyone wants to be their own star, of course. Everybody wants to be the star of their own show. And it also gives us all more of a voice.
Absolutely.
So you and I can talk whatever the fuck we want to talk about, man.
As we should.
And people are willing to hear our story or our opinion on certain things, because I think there's a dialogue that needs to happen. There's the D. There's a dialogue that needs to happen that people need to really start hearing and talking about. Because if you leave it up to big media, don't get me started, but if you leave it up to that, that's all brainwashed bullshit.
Of course,
big
it's going to be
mumbo jumbo.
Yeah,
it's all nonsense.
It's going to be watered down. It's going to be the shit that's not real.
Yeah, and I think our culture, what's that called? Our demographic, our age group. What do you call that? Our generation. That's the word I'm looking for. I feel like our generation is really becoming hip to. We're just much more cynical than our parents were.
Absolutely.
They were cynical in certain ways, but they still read the paper every day and they still watched the news every day because that's all they had and they trusted it.
Totally.
Versus me, I read the paper or I watch the news and I'm like, you are full of shit. And time again, have you proven yourselves to be full of shit because you switch opinions based on whose dick you're sucking right now in the corporate world. It's all about big money. It's all about lobbying and all, I'm not going to get into the politics of it, but we know. We know that story. And so I'm seeing this shift, and it's kind of an interesting and exciting time that we are living in.
Absolutely.
How fast. I mean, dude, it wasn't that long ago until MySpace came out.
I know.
It really wasn't that. How long ago was that? 10 years?
Maybe,
tops?
yeah. Yeah.
In 10 fucking years, social media you can't film a movie without including social media now because it's part of our life.
I can't book a job without me having over 100,000 followers on Instagram now, which is ridiculous. I've lost 2 jobs because they said, we love your client, but he doesn't have enough social media following.
I'm hearing that's happening.
And you're like, I'm sorry, we're basing talent off of social media.
Yeah.
So there's somewhat, in a sense, yes, it's great.
Yeah.
But also, people are just getting lazy because they're like, oh, we want an internal fan.
Now you're not just the actor, you're also the marketing department.
Yeah, now
that's basically what it is.
I have to do PR like full time for myself as well.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's
I got
fucking,
enough shit to worry about.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I 100%. I mean, being a musician and a producer, songwriter, all that, I have to.
You have to.
I have to. But when you're an actor and you get that big gig, for them to tell you.
Yeah. Can you clean up your social media? Can we figure out? Well, I was like, what? Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
It's unbelievable.
Didn't realize I have to do that as well.
Yeah.
So it's interesting, but it's funny when you see these little YouTube stars, getting their own TV shows now because they have all these followers.
Yeah. Yeah. And, for all I know, it's my hope that this podcast gains momentum.
Sure. Absolutely.
And but it doesn't happen overnight. Because a lot of the guys that I look up to and sort of model what I'm doing after, like Mark Maron and Joe Rogan, these sort of comedians and sort of social commentary dudes,
Totally.
I love what they've been doing. But dude, Joe Rogan's on like 900 now.
Yeah.
He's done 900 fucking
crazy.
episodes. Maron's been doing this shit for what? Like 7 or 8 years.
It's amazing.
And, now they're consistently in the top 10 on iTunes.
Yeah.
And I understand that that's the work he put in. So for me, that would be great at one point to get to that level. But listen, it doesn't happen overnight.
True. It doesn't happen overnight. And you have to put in the work too. Not saying that I'm going to sit here and be like, I'm not putting any work into my career. You have to. It's just sometimes when this social media frenzy is like, how many naked pictures of myself am I going to post on Instagram just to get followers? Like, that's what it's all come down to.
I actually, just kind of a little tangent. I want your opinion on this because it kind of got my mind going in a little bit of a way here. Is one of the girls that I follow on Instagram. She's regular Jane Schmaine girl. But I mean, I don't mean that. I mean just like a regular girl. Nothing. She's not like an Instagram model or none of this shit. Just regular girl. And she posts sort of this. She's in her lingerie, or maybe just her undies and bra.
Okay.
And she's sitting on the bed, just kind of like like the
coy.
Like, what it reminded me? Yeah, coy. It reminded me of Britney Spears' first album cover.
Oh, hit me baby one more time.
When she, you remember that, and her head's like this, and kind of to the side, and she's trying to look like a little high school girl. Well, this girl from my Instagram was doing that, but in her bra and undies.
Yeah.
And she had this huge rant on there about why she was doing it, because she doesn't do that shit. She doesn't. And she writes on it, the reason why I'm doing this is because I'm tired of women making decisions based on pedophiles and based on, you know, these aggressive men, or what sex offenders and all whatnot. And I'm not going to change who I am because of these horrible men. And she kind of went on about that. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, I get it. I get where you're coming from.
Yeah.
But why would you hold the steak in front of the lion in the cage that's a little bit loose?
Yeah, totally.
Like, why would you, like, do you walk down the street naked because
you're just trying to prove a point?
Like, I don't understand that. It was just, to me, it was like, you realize that maybe your intent is not to, but why would you? I think that's what I want to ask her.
You should. Why direct message her?
Why? Damn. Why the fuck would you do that? Like, I'm sure there's at least 5 creeper motherfuckers that jerked off to that picture of yours. Like, seriously.
Absolutely. I think she just wants... I hate those people who are trying to prove a point just to prove a point that is
prove a point
just
to prove
shallow for themselves.
Yeah.
Just to hear themselves speak.
Like...
It's not... You're not doing anything. You're just... you're a bamboozler.
I don't. Yeah, it's. I don't know.
Sense.
It just. My head just. The vein just started popping in my head. I'm just. I kind of, that anger. It was just kind of like
furious.
I feel like you're coming from a place of ignorance. Like, I get it. I get it.
Yeah, not executed well.
But not executed well. Yeah, maybe. How about just a selfie of you, just regular, and you can talk about that or whatever. Which, by the way, cracks me the fuck up. You always get the selfie and the girl in the big boobies hanging out.
Yeah.
But she has like this quote of the day.
Oh, which is like, you know, Jesus, take the wheel. Take it from my hand.
I love it. It's like, that's your excuse. It's like, really, we really know, bitch, what you're trying to do.
Yeah, it's like rise above.
You just want us to look at your pretty boobies and your fish puckered face and worship you, but you're doing it under the guise of, oh no, this is the quote of the day.
Oh no, this is a real thing.
I'm trying to expand your horizons.
Yeah, get out of here. You probably copy and pasted that shit from a textbook.
Yeah.
Or quotes of the day that you've found on Google.
Yeah. But you know, I have no problems with women like Instagram models that are, you know, they're showing off their lingerie and their assets.
Listen,
I quite enjoy that.
I'm sure you do.
But by the way, in the gay world, is that a thing?
Oh, absolutely. Are you kidding?
Like there's gay models that kind of like, ooh, look at my pecker.
Oh yeah, my pecker. First of all, I haven't heard pecker since in 1999, so thank you for that one.
Hey, I bring it back.
You bring it old school.
About as happy as a puppy dog, 2 Peters.
Oh, there you go. Just blue collar.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, there's everybody. Please, this Instagram frenzy has gone absolutely insane.
It's out of control.
Everybody's naked. Everybody has a 8-pack. Everybody's face tuning the shit out of their faces. They look fake.
Is that what it's called? Face tuning?
Face tune, yeah. When they like smooth out, it looks. I mean, I'll show you a picture.
Yeah, and they can make the eyes bigger now. Like shit, like it's so crazy.
You can make your waist smaller, your arms bigger.
Wow.
You can detail your abs so they look super chiseled. So everyone's like, "What is this?" And then when they meet you in real life, you're like, "Wait, you are totally not that."
Yeah,
person.
it's like wah.
Yeah, you look crazy. Yeah. But listen, to each his own. God bless and release. Shabbat shalom. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah. Exactly. So let me ask you, man. This will be interesting because you have the big thing coming out. Mm-hmm. Okay. And awesome. I can't fucking wait, by the way. It's going to be awesome. But I'm very curious is to see how your social media becomes impacted.
Oh, I can't wait.
Because this will be your biggest role to date in LA, would you say?
Yeah, this is my first big like TV thing. So yeah, we'll see what happens. I mean, hopefully the show's gets a following and is a hit.
Who doesn't like vampires? Dude?
I mean, it's a vampire comedy. It's funny.
But you wear the teeth and all that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Did they make you white as fuck? Are you like super white?
They made me white as fuck. They we were in makeup for like an hour.
Yeah.
Just to get all the white makeup on our like full on all over the body. And like we had different stages of makeup because when I get even more aggressive and angry, when I start biting people, my makeup becomes darker. So I look more evil. And then...
Oh, interesting.
Not that I'm not an evil character at all. But yeah, when you turn from normal glam vampire, which they called me. A glam vamp.
Yeah, that's funny.
Into, crazy town when you turn into biting mode. Is different, so that was a lot. But the makeup looked great. It was really cool. We shot for 2 months, 3 months, 2.5 months.
And that's for an entire season?
We did, yeah. Well, this season, it's more of like a mini series as of now. There's 8 episodes.
Very cool, man. So if there's enough demand, people like it, then they'll be like, hey, let's do another one.
Yeah. So
very cool.
Yeah, it's fun. It's like I'm playing this, I don't know, really old vampire.
Yeah, like, well, that's how they are.
That's how we are.
But you look like you're 22
but I look
years
like
old.
I'm 22.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's I basically turn this really nerdy character into a vampire, but the whole gag is that in the show the vampires are all hot, and we're always like, we only turn hot people into vampires, and we're like basically poking fun at Twilight and all of these, Vampire Diaries, and stuff like that. So yeah, I turn this like nerdy, geeky, Seth Rogen-y, funny guy into a vampire, and then he's stuck with me for the rest of my life.
Really?
So yeah, so that's our whole dynamic, and I'm just like basically want to kill him most of the time, and then we evolve and have this awesome friendship, and we become like brothers. Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
That's
Get
cool, man.
ready. It's good.
I had no idea. That's cool, man.
Yeah, it's really fun. It's super funny.
And how does that work with the CW? Is it a free service? Do you just go to the website and you're good?
Yeah. You can. I think it should be free.
Okay. I would pay for it. I'm just curious.
Yeah, you better pay for it, boo. Yeah, it should be free. Absolutely.
Okay.
I think if you have, go, or you can go online too.
But that should be on like Hulu or Netflix eventually?
Not Netflix. I think it's going to be, eventually it might be on Netflix, but as of now, it's on its own streaming platform. So it's the CW Seed on Apple TV.
Okay.
You just click on that bad boy and it'll be there.
Awesome. I can't wait, man.
You can binge watch it. All the episodes will be out.
Oh, like all of them. Okay. Yeah, that's how I watch.
It's kind of like
I can't wait.
Yeah, no, me either. I can't. I'm done. No patience anymore.
I never got into people are going to hate me for this, but I never got into Game of Thrones.
Oh, me either.
I never did. And I did it because I knew how I got with Breaking Bad.
Uh-huh.
And I didn't want to do that same thing because I knew it'd just be too much of an addiction. You know what I'm saying?
I tried 2 times to watch Game of Thrones. For some reason, I just couldn't get sucked in. But now everybody's like, I'm going to start again. I think it's third time's a charm.
Maybe there's like kind of a payoff. But the thing with Breaking Bad is I was sucked in from episode 1. Gotcha. I was just on the edge of my seat.
Yeah, I haven't watched Breaking Bad either. I'm terrible.
Oh, you never did?
No.
Yeah.
I'm like a 30 Rock, Kimmy Schmidt.
Okay.
Stupid, funny, dumb comedy.
So you used to watch Seinfeld.
Oh, Seinfeld I loved.
That was
Frasier I loved.
all
Friends.
time.
Will and Grace is still one of my favorites. I mean.
Dude, I still remember Thursday on whatever network that shit was. They called it, was it Must See TV? But I remember it was Thursday.
Must See TV?
Must See TV. Must
see.
Mushy.
Sounds
Mushy,
like
mushy.
Sounds like mussy, like man pussy. Like my Musty TV.
That's it.
Oh, that's it. Come on down.
That's why I gotta eat the plátanos to keep the...
Yeah, they keep my pussy juice. It's so gross.
So gross. And I think it was NBC. And I remember being a kid watching it, and it was like literally like the best hour of television in history. It was fucking Friends.
Yes.
And then right after Friends came Seinfeld, and this is when them shits were new. Like, so it was a new episode of Friends and then a new episode of Seinfeld, back to back, boom, boom. And I was like, no wonder why they call this shit Must See TV. You cannot miss this shit.
You can't stop watching it.
2 of some of the greatest sitcoms of that era.
I still watch. I still go to bed. I'm like, let me throw Will and Grace on. It always makes me feel happy.
Will and Grace. Yeah, I never got into Will and Grace.
Oh, it's so funny.
Yeah.
I think they're ridiculous.
But I'm seeing some of the comedies out now, and they're very edgy. Like I don't watch them. I'll just occasionally the roommate will put it on, and I'll sit down, have a beer, and watch a few minutes of it. But one of them was maybe you can help me out here. It's I think it was like a couple lesbians and. Okay, I don't know. Couple lesbians. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how many shows are about a couple lesbians, but it wasn't like specifically. They were like part of a group of people, and I don't know. They were throwing some fucking house party, and smoking. I don't know, whatever. Anyway, the point being is that they all seem to be a little bit more like true to how we live. I feel like they're more like just sort of a snippet in time, and
not
they
as
seem
charactery.
Yeah, and they seem less polished than maybe stuff was back in the day where they're trying to create an image. Now I feel like it really is just like
Anything goes.
Anything goes, and it's just the life of, everyone's a fucking stoner now. So like that's what they show, and that's what it's all about. Just people hanging out, smoking weed, drinking beer, and that seems to be every comedy
show
that I see on television nowadays.
Yep.
But,
it's funny. Yeah, but there's still structure to it. I feel, but not as charactery.
Yeah.
As before, which I
see what you mean by that. Yeah.
I like both. I mean, the classics are the classics. I love them. But I do appreciate where comedy's going now. It's random shit.
In the style of comedy, the style of what is funny today is different than 10 years ago.
Oh, absolutely.
You notice that?
It's
like
really
the
more,
banter is
the
much...
banter's dry. It's more
very
sarcastic.
Dry. Yeah.
Yeah, very laid back. Very commentative. No.
Commentate. Yeah, I know what you mean.
They basically, they comment on everything.
Yeah.
Which is funny. Wow, I can't speak English. Commentative. That's not even a word.
It's okay. You're a foreigner. You're great.
Thank God I'm nailing it in every other aspect than English language.
Well, wait. So were you actually born in Jersey, or were you born in?
No, I was born in Jersey.
You were born in Jersey. Okay. Yeah. Is there a big Greek?
There's a big Greek community in Jersey.
Community out there. Isn't Colin Greek?
No, Colin's like Irish.
Oh, okay.
Close.
That's close.
Yeah. No, comedy. There you go.
So if we ever hit any dry spots, like here, it's totally fine. I just, we could snip it out, or sometimes, sometimes
the dry spots are great.
Dry spots.
I mean, normally I don't like a dry spot, but I'm normally drenched.
So, how's the love life these days?
It's good.
Being a working girl
is fine. It's good.
Dude, that cracked me up when you started referring to yourself as she.
She.
And I was just dying, bro. From that point on, I'm like, I just call you like in the third person.
You have to. It's always a third person.
Like I don't say, you have to say she.
See, third
even
person.
Even though I'm in the same room with you.
Getting back to comedy. 3. Yep. Put me in the third person. It's still funny. I'm commenting on me being in the third person.
Yeah. So, how's the sex life for you?
It's good.
Yeah. Yeah. Any relationships, or are you just having fun? Hashtag Weho life.
Hashtag Weho life.
Dude.
No, hashtag relationship wise, it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. We don't got to get too much into it. I was just curious if you.
Yeah. That'll be episode 16 when I come back.
I gotta say, man, if I were gay, and I were living, well, I am living in this, but gay living in this community. Mm-hmm. I mean, holy shit, bro! Like, it's like hunting season.
It's literally a plethora of whatever you want.
Yeah. I don't know how.
It's overwhelming.
Yeah,
and also the bubble is too small. That's what kills me. Everybody knows your shit. Everybody in this town.
Yeah.
God forbid you take a trick home once. The whole fucking world knows.
The whole world knows. Yeah, it is a small world out here, isn't it?
Such a small world.
Yeah.
But what are you gonna do? Just don't be a hooker.
Don't be a fucking hooker.
Don't be. I mean, if you want to be a hooker,
stop turning tricks, man.
Listen, if you want to be a hooker, just be on the down low. Just be a sneaky undercover hooker.
Now, when you let me just play a little coy with this, or a little ignorant here. When you say hooker, do you legitimately mean that, or like you're receiving money, or do you just mean a fucking whore? You're being a fucking whore.
You're being a fucking whore.
All right.
Not a hooker, not a real one. Get out of here.
God, we know they don't exist.
Get out of here. My parents would kill me.
So, dude, you went to a Catholic school, an all-boys Catholic school. I
went to an all-boys Catholic high school, like a sports school, which was gross. If
you were a young gay man in a all-boys school, wouldn't that be kind of
no, because it was
kind of good times?
No. When you think about it, because you're just like not gay then, and you're figuring your shit out, and you want to fit in, and it's sports and get out. Oh, it's too much.
It's too much,
and everybody's a douche.
Yeah, kind of. So it's macho Catholic.
Macho Catholic.
Yeah.
Yeah, and being gay in a Catholic school was absolutely unacceptable.
Did you know then, or was it something that happened later in life?
I mean, I guess you always know, but you really don't like get in touch with it until you're ready to get in touch with it.
That's interesting. Yeah. It's so societal. You think do you think that if society wasn't so, it's still, I mean, in areas like LA, it's very, but in most of the fucking country, it's still very taboo, right? So
Yes.
do you think, especially back then, I mean, we're not talking about today here. We're talking about what, 10, 15, 20, I don't know how old you are, but
I'm 14.
you look 22.
I'm
You look
20
22.
I'm 28.
You're 28. Okay. See, that's the sweet potatoes keeping you young.
I've just my face is pulled.
But do you think that if societally it was zero negative attachment, zero, do you think that there would be this process of discovering, or do you think it would be pretty much at a younger age like it tends to be with straight people? Do you know what I'm saying? Do you think
Yeah.
there'd be a distinction between the two?
You're saying if society like welcomed it even more?
If,
Is that what you mean?
if there was zero question.
There's zero question.
If it was
Yeah,
just,
absolutely.
hey, you're straight, you're gay, you're whatever,
Yeah.
and there's zero
Well,
anything.
yeah, I feel like there's, yeah, absolutely. It would be way easier, and
So-
people wouldn't, feel like they were trapped and, not living their authentic self.
So it really is societal.
Absolutely.
I mean, I
Definitely.
know this, but I want to get the dialogue going.
Oh
'cause-
yeah, I completely agree with that. I think it's society says or religion says you need to do this, we need to do that. Family pressure from, what are the other people going to say? Oh God, it's all of that.
yeah.
So some families are amazing. Some are, stuck in religion. Some
Yeah.
are, will eventually become cool with it. It's just, depends on how you were raised and how you grew up.
Yeah.
And it all depends on yourself too. Like if you're ready to do your thing and you don't give two shits about what people think, then more power to you.
Yeah.
But that's also super hard.
I can only imagine, bro. And and I gotta say that if you are a gay man and you live in this area, everyone here just fucking owns it, man.
Oh yeah.
Like gay as fuck, strutting down the street in high heels, man.
There are a
and
lot
you're
of
like,
people.
damn, motherfucker, you don't give a
Listen,
shit.
Work queen. Give me that. Give me those heels, honey.
But what's funny is when I interviewed a deer, he's a little older than us.
yeah.
And he mentioned, he was kind of part of, the not like the only generation, but he was part of the generation that kind of is what is allowing for that. In other
Totally.
words, there's these young
Paved the
kids
way.
running down the street. They have no idea the shit that he had to go through.
Of course.
So that you could get to that point.
Absolutely. And it's still a building process. I
Yeah.
mean, I feel like everybody's, we've really come a long way for sure.
Yeah.
Thankfully.
I mean,
We still have a long ways to go.
yeah, still have a long ways to go.
But that says it with everything too. We still have a long ways to go with a lot of things in life.
Yeah, there's still a lot of racism.
Oh, still.
Just
absolutely.
as there's sexism. It's just this thing where people are so slow for change, and living out here has certainly made me very open-minded and tolerant of different cultures.
Yeah.
It may not be me, but you know what? This is you guys, and fucking A, man.
Well, that's what makes
It doesn't
you so
matter.
cool.
It doesn't matter. It's just like that. What I can't understand is how people get hung up on what sexual orientation,
Oh, yeah.
color of your skin. I don't understand that mentality.
Me either. I don't
I don't
understand
get
it
it.
either. I feel like it's not your business. It's do I come into your house and tell you how to cook your eggs at night?
Right.
No. Or
Right.
how you make your vodka soda with a splash of lime. You know what?
Yeah.
It's the same shit.
Yeah, at the end of the day, I think if you're really, really ignorant, you only look at that aspect. You say, oh, you're black, so therefore fuck you. Or you're gay, so fuck you.
Yeah.
I think that's like the lowest of the low, like
course.
of ignorance. But it seems that there's kind of these different tiers of what motivates basically ignorance.
Absolutely.
But anyway, yeah, I think it's an interesting subject. I studied a little bit of sociology in school when I was in college, and I don't know. I find how societies behave and how there's sort of like an overall common agreement with a lot of things.
Yeah.
I find that very interesting, and I guess it's a good and a bad thing. But I don't like how people are kind of have a hard time thinking for themselves.
Yeah.
That's kind of my thing.
It's
is
like, what's everybody else going to do so I can jump on the bandwagon?
Yeah.
Just be a fucking individual.
be a fucking individual.
And step up to the goddamn plate.
Just own it. And I think that's why you're so charismatic.
Thanks.
When I first saw you, I was like, dude, this guy, you were literally the most charismatic dude that I've met in years.
Oh, thanks.
You know, you emit that quality, right? And you just like, dude,
I don't give a shit. Like, it's like, I know who I am. I'm comfortable with myself. I love my friends. I love my family. I surround myself with great people.
Yeah.
And if I want to like, put heels on and dance to music in your house right now, I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
If not, if I want to fucking play a basketball with you and the guys and do like a straight guy thing, which is so ridiculous that we even have to stereotype that.
Yeah, hey bro.
Hey bro.
Let's go play some fucking ball.
Yeah, you want to throw a ball, bro? Touch football?
You want to throw a ball. That's exactly what, yeah.
So you know what I mean? It's like, do your thing.
Do your thing, man. You know, and I don't remember where I heard this, but it's so true, man. It's if you're the nerd, if you're the flamboyant gay dude, if you're the jock,
Everybody
I don't care.
Puts you in a box.
I don't care. Yeah, put you in the box. But whatever you are, whatever you want to be, I should say, whatever you want to be, if you just own the shit out of whatever you want to be, dude, then
you're gonna succeed and do it. You're gonna be. You found your niche,
and you're gonna be that. You will be cool if you're a fucking nerd, but you own that shit that you're a nerd.
Absolutely. And
but if you're
love
ashamed of being, you know what I'm saying? And I'm saying, because, you know, I'm a nerd in a lot of ways, but I'm kind of picking out like the 1980s stereotype of a nerd, like from the movie nerds, like the pocket protector and the glasses.
Yeah, glasses and high-waisted pants.
And you know what? If that's you, then don't try to be the jock that you're never going to be. Don't try to emulate. Be the fucking nerd, own that shit, and be confident with it. And that at the end of the day, it's that fucking confidence.
Yeah, it's just be true to who your real self is. And at the end of the day, and that's when your career is going to happen. That's when your love life's going to happen. That's when shit's going to blow up for you.
Everything.
You're not hiding behind anything, and there's no scrim in front of you or like an act or a play that I'm fighting within myself of like, I'm living a completely unauthentic life.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I'm sure you're very talented as an actor, which I've never seen you act. That's what I'm looking for. Which will change very soon. But so you're very talented, I'm sure. You can't get a lead without being so. But I'm sure what they saw in you for the lead wasn't that, he can act. It's, dude, this guy just owns that shit.
Thanks.
Yeah,
absolutely. No, that's what I look in if I'm behind the table casting something or doing a project. I want to cast my friends. I want to cast the people that I love, and then I know we can have like this right now. We can have this conversation and chill and just sit and shoot the shit. And who you can work well with, and who's open and ready to receive and give information and blah blah blah. Yeah, that's what you want, ideally. So, yes, thank you for that. I appreciate that. I love, I'm doing me. Dude, I'm just doing me.
Just doing you, bruh.
Me, bruh.
Yeah, man. So, hey, is there anything you kind of want to touch on? Was there anything that you came in as an idea that you kind of wanted to talk about? Is there anything that interests you right now? This
has been so good. I'm obsessed with this. Oh, politics. That's going to be an episode.
Yeah, that could be episode.
That'll be later in life.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens when it gets closer.
Yeah, man, I'm so disappointed with and the fact that people buy into the shit. It's like, dude, and what blows me away is the fact that the lying media.
Everybody's just a lying sack of shit right now.
But what blows me away is this day and age that the lying media still can influence opinion.
Yeah, totally.
Because if everyone were like you and I.
Who actually
or you and me, if that's the proper normal. But if everyone were like us, nothing the mass media could say would phase us. I mean, yes, let's be realistic. There would be some degree of like, maybe this has happened. But at the end of the day, we're so like,
we're smart enough to look at both sides of like what is given.
Yeah.
Because there's always two sides to a story, as we all know. But we're also smart enough to figure out, okay, I'm calling bullshit on that.
Yeah.
Or that doesn't sound right. Or media and everything that's been out, we can figure out if you've said something in the past that you're completely lying about because you've said it on national TV already.
Yeah.
It's called, we go back and there's recordings of it.
Yeah. There's no hiding that. And
there's
now,
no hiding anything.
And this is the beauty of social media is it's sort of calling bullshit on a lot of these things.
It is. You can't hide it anymore.
Yeah, and there seems to be an ongoing dialogue of why are we listening to these fucking people? Like, this is old hat. This is like grandparents' day shit. Like, this is like,
we're evolving.
Yeah, we're evolving. And now we're more like, we want real news from impartial.
Of course.
Impartial sources, meaning you're not a humongous corporation, multinational corporation. Because, I think people need to be reminded, even though everyone should know this, but people need to be reminded that there's really only 4 or 5 companies that own all the media.
Yeah.
All of it.
Totally.
Except for like, PBS or, like public shit.
Of course. All your network ones.
Yeah. And I think that's why I'm a huge supporter of KCRW.
I love KCRW.
And for years, I was a member, and you donate because I believe in it, because what they're doing is they are giving you fact, or at least what they believe to be fact, and they're not trying to fatten the pockets of anybody. You know what I mean? And so they're in it for the pure, and that's why the music they play is like so avant-garde and so on the, and the news is just so clean.
Yeah, it's great.
There's no talking heads. You know what I mean? It's just clean information and, interpret it.
Yeah,
but
no
here's
one's
the information.
sugarcoating anything. And
yeah, because again, if they're not owned by interests, then they can be whatever they want to be. They don't have to please anybody at the top. And again, when you have 5 major companies owning all the media, that's a huge fucking issue, man. And people need to realize that that is not a system that is ethical.
Yeah.
It's not ethical news. It's not ethical
especially
reporting.
this day and age, especially our generation too, where we can see right through that.
Yeah, and we're just kind of on the beginning of that. And I think, the next generation will probably be a little bit higher up than us. They might be a little dumber in certain ways because of their
faces in a phone the whole time.
Yeah, but
which I'm guilty of too.
Which we all are. But dude, these high school. Have you seen the high school kids these days, man?
Ridiculous. There's no conversations. They've never probably said a word to each other.
It's rough, man. But they're geniuses where it comes to the iPhones and social media. They're like shit that they do shit that I.
Yeah, but what's gonna happen to like having a real conversation or kids being kids and going outside and playing? And I mean, I was never in front of a phone or yes, I did play video games, but I would always be outside every single day after school. Yeah. Playing something. Playing football, basketball, tennis, everything.
Yeah, 100%. And
you need those human interactions instead of it being all hid behind a text.
And I couldn't imagine the layer of complexity that adds to school life as a child.
Totally. And just I don't know.
The social pressure.
The social pressure and the aspect of like being, I don't know, growing up and actually being an adult after too. Yeah. You need to be social. Yeah. How are you going to work and talk to people and network?
If all you're doing is hashtagging and selfieing every fucking moment of your life.
Real conversations. I don't know. Interesting. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. Hey, how are you doing, bud? Do you want to use the restroom? You want a glass of water? How are you doing on time?
Time-wise, I probably got to go in like 5 minutes because I have to go to this concert tonight.
Okay, well, we'll finish it up. We'll end it.
I know. I feel like I can be here for hours.
No, and that's the funny thing is we could go on and on.
I didn't realize what time flies.
Yeah, it really does, man. Yeah, I mean, Adir and I went 3 hours. I'll split it up into parts.
I love it.
2 parts. But I think you and I are a perfect amount of time for one good episode, man.
Amazing. I definitely need to come back, though.
Yeah.
I'm not done with this. It's so fun.
We should talk again when your show has aired.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then we can kind of talk about what's happened with that and how your life is being impacted by that.
How I'm still serving burratas and martinis.
Somehow I doubt that, brother. Yeah.
Listen, it pays the bills, and I'm thankful for the job. Yeah. Right now, we got to do what we got to do.
Do you want to be a backup dancer in the music video we're shooting? By the way,
absolutely. I will backup dance the shit out of your music
Mahan
video.
being our fucking choreographer.
Amazing.
Have you seen this fool?
Oh yeah, he can dance his face off.
He can dance like a crazy,
like a mofo. When are you guys shooting it?
We started shooting initial scenes last week, and we're going to shoot most likely 1 to 2 weeks from now, the dance scenes.
Cool.
And it's going to be to one of the originals that I wrote.
So cool.
It's a part of the EP I'm releasing called The Bells of Vine. And it's sort of a future beat. Here we go with the word future. The genre is future beat. So kind of like a San Holo subtact style. With a melodic trap is basically. So it's not dark. It's very uplifting and fun. And
that's perfect. Because I love a vocal. Give me a vocal.
Oh, you want a vocal? All right.
I love a vocal.
Yeah, we'll drop some vocals on that.
I also want that Edge of 17 remix that you have. That's the best thing.
You love that song. Yeah, when I was DJing.
You should play this one.
Just end it with that song.
You guys, get ready. It's the best.
I love that intro with the guitar. Like,
yeah.
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 And then Nyx comes in.
Yeah.
Just fucking.
It's the best.
The best, man.
Yeah.
Well,
Johnny, it's been real.
Connie, I love you,
man.
brother. I'm so happy that you came on, and I'm honored that you took time out of your busy day.
Are you kidding me? Absolutely, for you, the world.
And I will let you know when we release this bad boy, and so you can push it, and we can all enjoy
the stylings of our conversation.
Absolutely, man. All right, man. Well, enjoy your concert, and we'll see you next time.
All right, thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye.